Hey, what's up? It's Jason DeBeas along with Rob McLean. Here we are. This is episode six. Is episode six? Nope.
Mm-mm.
This is episode five. This is Mamba Mourning part two. And as you can see by the flag in the background, this is where Miranda's supposed to be sitting, but instead you got me today. And you know what, people? This is sponsored by NY Varsity Sports, sponsored by Beach Volleyball National Events and NY Varsity Sports. The episode starts now. And we're back. Bobby McGee, listen, I have the gift of gab, but I am definitely playing out of position, okay? I'm a first baseman, and last time I checked, this looks like third base in our room. So I'm going to cut through bumbling and stumbling and sounding like Hugh Grant, and I'll just get to the questions, all right?
Let's do it.
Question number one. In a much anticipated heavyweight boxing match where someone's O had to go, Tyson Fury defeats Deontay Wilder by TKO in round 7. After the match, there was some controversy about Wilder's team throwing in the towel. The question is, Rob McLean, did they get it right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, Wilder. Everybody wants to talk about, they should have thrown it around earlier, but he never really defended himself. Unfortunately, he got hit with a shot that could have been clean, could not have been clean. I don't know. But ever since that point, he never got his legs back. He never defended himself adequately, And for me, it was just Tyson was rolling. That's how you stop a fight from a referee if you stop a fight. I thought Kenny Bayless should have probably stepped in the round before, and then we didn't have to talk about the towel at all. But if you look at any fighter, I think it's always going to be controversial for their own team to quit for the guy who's not even in the ring. You know what I mean? Like there's more than just what's going on in the ring. There's do I want my fighter to? I have to save my fighter from himself. That's a very, very slippery slope.
Ooh.
Because in one end you want to keep your fighter healthy, the other end, you have to take reality into consideration and understand that he was not winning that fight, but was he going to come out of there with his senses? So,
right.
Absolutely the right decision, but just stinks how that all went down.
Yeah. For Rob, when I saw the towel thrown in, I couldn't help, and I all the boxing aficionados, I say this out of respect. This is more your wheelhouse, though I am an avid fan, but not as an avid a fan as I am for mixed martial arts. So that's where my heart went back. My heart couldn't help but going back to the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, where Conor would have liked to go out on his sword, and sometimes that wasn't a towel throw in, but that was one of those things where sometimes the ref or your corner man has to save you from yourself. They know your heart. They know you're not easily knocked down. It's one of those fights where you're in the corner and he's punching you so hard, you're bouncing off the turnbuckle. You probably won't get knocked down, and you're going to suffer a couple of more hits. And it's very unfair for me to compare it to MMA, because MMA, if someone takes a knee and they're not intelligently defending themselves, the ref stops the fight. Where in boxing, you could take a knee, swallow your pride, take a knee and take the 8 count and sustain more damage.
Right.
So did I get it right? This is for the guys watching, for the people watching at home. This is supposed to be a debate show, but once again, Rob and I are in total agreement. I thought the early wasn't an early stoppage. I don't even like using the term early stoppage. It was appropriate. He got dropped twice, albeit one seemed like it was the back of the head, but if you look really closely in the replay, it was behind the ear.
Yeah, it was ear.
So it was one of those things as we take a look at some of these highlights. He had very, very good close distance, because you knew Wilder through his extension, Wilder could hit him. Wilder extends with the hook or the cross, right? And this guy is just perverse. He is licking his blood. He is literally licking the blood off of him, and it's one of those things where I thought personally that he got into his head where, in so many ways, he won. And again, I'm comparing it to Conor McGregor. He won before the match even started.
Well, I'll let you know how, and everybody
Please.
Talks about it, but who gained more weight from the last fight to this fight? Deontay Wilder or Fury? No. Fury gained 16 pounds, and Deontay Wilder gained 18 pounds. He went from or I'm not sure the number is totally correct, but he went from 215 to 231, and Fury went from I want to say like a 256 to 273. So it's like you put weight on a skinnier player or a skinnier boxer, it does way more damage to his overall cardio and his movement. You know, and then you have Tyson Fury who puts on 30 pounds. To him, that's like normal, you know, because he has agile feet in a big man. So the difference for me, before the fight, I should have known it too, to keep myself from getting so from understanding the fight a little bit closer. But Deontay Wilder was fighting outside of his norm. You know, he was not quick anymore. He couldn't get in and out. He kept getting touched by Tyson. Yeah, it was a big difference for Wilder's fighting style than it was for Tyson's fighting style. So
absolutely,
really crazy.
I thought it was a very smart fight by Fury. Fury, who looks like he has some reach as well. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do the tail of the tape. Who has the bigger wingspan? But I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder did. But as far as knockout power is concerned, I think Wilder had a better chance of sniping him from a distance than Fury had. And, you know, for everyone that says that, you know, he couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight, he's a professional boxer and you only get hit so many times and in the right place. The second drop actually was a punch to the solar plexus, right? Man. That was nasty.
Yeah.
It was just boom,
and he ran him down, you know, like he threw a punch and Deontay got out of the way of it, but he also went forward. Technically, not like running forward and try to punch him. He walked forward with two and then hit him like hard in his midsection. And if you're actually watching, the reason why he got knocked out or knocked down from that wasn't really the body shot doing damage. It's that when your body gets hit like that, your body freezes. Right. And he was backing up on that foot. So his foot couldn't lift up and catch himself. So that's really what happened. Yeah. It's not like a devastating knockout, but he did technically exactly what you're supposed to do. When a guy's backing you up, you attack the body so he can't move, and then you can attack him again, or, you know, things happen. I mean, Manny Pacquiao does that all the time. And now we're talking about a guy that's 273, and they're even talking about with water weight and all this stuff, he could have been up to 285. Yeah. 285. That's 50
like Brock Lesnar style, right?
Yeah.
Someone that sheds down to 265. Well, there is no shed down weight. I think weight, unlike MMA, heavyweight doesn't have a limit.
No, I don't believe so.
Max, I was watching a little Max Kellerman bringing me up to speed this morning. One more question before we move to the next fight. Wilder looked pretty gassed by the time he got to the 7th round. Did that have something to do with his conditioning, or are you under the impression that Fury stabbed the gas tank?
No, I think it's
again. It was the body shots?
I think it's again what we were talking about. A guy who's fighting 20 pounds over his normal fight weight. He's getting hit, which he normally doesn't do because he moves and he slides and people are afraid of his right hand. But I think that Fury beat him because he said that he's going to walk him down and he's going to beat him up. And Wilder said, well, I'm going to put on a little bit more weight to take that punishment, instead of thinking, I'm going to stick to my game plan, what I normally do, and stick and evade and set up the right hand. It's just, again, I think he needs to see who's around him and what needs to change, because even the announcers in the fight were saying, how are you not telling, you got to possibly at that point, it was a cut in the ear, 6 stitches, it wasn't a busted eardrum, but how are you not telling that man to protect his left side? His left hand was down the whole fight.
Agreed.
His left hand was down the whole fight.
That's a mistake.
That's weird.
That's bizarre.
Well,
I think he felt like, I think after going the decision with him, which was a draw, he probably used it as bait because he was under the impression that if this guy couldn't hurt me for 12 rounds. Even though I did think Fury won 10 of those rounds, except the 2 rounds he got knocked down. I think that was kind of like a bait, but how many times you got to get hit before you're like, all right, bait's done. Well, let's do that. Let's not do that anymore.
On the other end, outside of those 2 equalizers, which we all talk about, the right hand.
Yep.
What did Deontay Wilder do? You know what I mean? To Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury had a whole fight to almost create a game plan, and then they came out of that with a draw. So in all essence, like, I think a lot more was learned on Fury's side than it was Deontay Wilder.
100%.
And they just took it into the fight. Tyson Fury even introspected and said, I need something different. fired his trainer, went to a different trainer.
Yep.
To do exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
I really like that
crazy.
because that shows he was running the show.
Yeah.
He look, if I hate to say it, but as a former volleyball player and as an athlete, sometimes you want coaches to save you from yourself and be like, this is for you. But sometimes you don't want to be held responsible for things you're not in charge of. Like someone tells you to do a certain way, you lose. And I mean, sometimes they point the finger at the coach, but if the coach got more star power than you, whatever. But I did some research on him, and he is kind of a mystic Mac. He said how the fight was going to go, and it went almost to whatever. So I'm sure he's the kind of guy that bets on himself, and leaves Vegas a winner in more ways than one. I'm sure. So
hey, if I'm a high level professional athlete and my measurables are 6'9", 273, and I got agile feet. I'm gonna bet on myself too.
Yeah. Guess right. What? Cool. Well, if we wrap that one up. Hey, for those of you watching, what did Jeremy Carlin say? You see it?
What's that? Oh, Jeremy. Struck 15 and 19 rounds the first time they fought. They shouldn't have fought the second time.
Yeah. Power shots were 58-18, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was an outmatched boxing match, but how can you take away that rematch from Deontay Wilder? You know what I mean? He's the guy. They created that fight together. It wasn't like Fury was something and then Deontay Wilder said, hey, please come fight. It was, agreed upon. It's a rematch. It was a draw. I mean, you can't say that they shouldn't have fought, but I don't think they should have a rematch anytime soon. Cool. A third fight anytime soon.
I think Anthony Joshua was waiting in the wings, and I think he wants to fight sooner than later. And I think Deontay Wilder's feeling like a nut like that. So. Fury's feeling like a nut.
He and Ruiz got to still go at it.
They got to score to settle. Yeah.
So we'll see who comes out of that.
Cool. All right. Here's the next question. The Lakers beat the Celtics on Sunday by 2 points behind LeBron James' jumper in a continuation of the oldest rivalry in the NBA. So, Rob, it's more of a quick question. I don't know if we'll spend a whole lot of time on this. Was this win a statement game?
Honestly, I don't believe so. I think the Celtics are still a team that needs to, for as much players and talent they have, they still, I feel like, don't have that identity. They, in my eyes, their best player is Jason Tatum. And I still wouldn't say that before this season, but he's been proving this season that he's a stud on a two-way player, scores about 30 in the games that matter, double-digit rebounds. I just still think that's a team where they're trying to make it a team with a lot of individuals. Gordon Hayward still not really the team player. I just don't think the Celtics are really a contender, a real serious contender in my eyes. I think they're on the verge, but still not really contender. So for me, the Lakers are just head and shoulders above because they have a legitimate identity.
Right.
I feel like LeBron's is one of the very first teams that I've seen LeBron play on where they have an identity outside of LeBron. It's now LeBron and AD. It's now we can shoot, we can play defense. That's none of the teams that LeBron plays. That it's all about how can we make LeBron better. Now it's like, how can we utilize LeBron to make everybody better?
Yep.
And he's built for that.
Yeah, he so is.
Built for that.
Dude, he so is.
So that's what I say. I don't think it's a statement game. I think it's just the Lakers showing everybody night in and night out that we are the team to beat, and it's our time for however long they're going to keep it together. Because,
nice.
Yeah, that's a great team.
Well, before I give my answer, I'd like to ring off what you said. He somewhere at the end of his Cleveland Cavaliers career, it looked like there were signs of him. What can I do to make this guy better? He's always been one of the best passers in the game.
Absolutely.
That I will dare to say rivals Larry Bird. And now to answer the question, no, it wasn't a statement. It wasn't a statement game. The win wasn't a statement game because the Celtics, there were a lot of lurking variables. You had Walker coming to the game. They came without there, and the Lakers only won by 2. So I think it was more of a statement game. There are no moral victories in the record book. The Celtics, I learned a lot more about the Celtics than I did about them. Statement games, I think is a tough question to ask a player, and I did a little media, but as a former media member, I would never ask a player that, because making a statement is based on what you want everybody else to think of you, right? And a lot of the players that actually make those statement games as a net result never do it as an intention.
Right.
They play basketball, and as a result, their good play and the fruition of the mixture of good coaching and play running and scouting makes a statement. We're just a better team. We beat you by a lot. So, was it a statement game on score-wise? No. Was it a statement game from a player's perspective? No. Was it a statement game from the coach's perspective? Our guy got teed up on, on the non-call or whatever. So it was much. It was a much anticipated game because they're both respected teams, but the result, the score was really much ado about nothing. How they played against each other and what you saw as a foreshadowing of things to come should the Celtics somehow, some way do their part in a top-heavy East. I mean, if you look at the top 8, look, you got a couple of people on the bottom that have lost more games than won, and they're going to make the playoffs. Yeah. And everyone was like, "Oh, the East is weak. The East is weak," but the East is top friggin' heavy, man. Yeah. They are. You got Greek Freak, Miami. Look out, Miami Heat.
I know, man.
Came out of nowhere.
Well, hey, you bring 2 good 3 guards in, and that's gonna change the team. Jimmy Butler, Andre Iguodala, that can change a whole franchise around. Nice. And I know Iggy earlier it's more Jimmy Butler's franchise than anything, but yeah, that team, great drafting.
Absolutely.
Great drafting. Yep. I think it was 2-3 years ago they brought in like 3 guards that were just unreal. And then they got the Tyler Hero kid. Yep. Oh, man, they got great drafting.
Indeed. All right, so if we got a stopwatch, we'll start on this one because I thought that one would take significantly less than 5 minutes. This one might take more, but let's time it, all right? We'll start after I ask the question. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, question 3. Today there was a tribute to for Kobe Bryant that happened at the Staples Center. God, Miranda, we miss you. The untimely death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the others who perished in a helicopter crash has generated different emotions throughout the globe. What is Sports Debates Tuesday? That is us. What is Sports Debates Tuesday's takeaway from the accident, the impact, and the tributes last celebration of life? Let's start it.
I guess just how impactful. It was really hard for me to even watch or be a part of, that today because it was very, it's just very raw, and it just shows you like, oh wow, like it's still there, it's just something I try to maybe, compartmentalize a little bit and then, go on with my life and then kind of maybe come back to it a little bit. But having that day today, the commemoration, seeing, Michael, Shaq, all these guys talk about, their experiences.
Michael?
Oh, man.
Did you see Michael?
Another meme coming.
Yeah.
But, geez, it's just heart-wrenching, because, everybody's trying to celebrate the life, but also realizing, how much he gave, which means also how much that he's not going to be able to give any longer. It was really, really difficult. Again, it felt like the cloudy day. It was a beautiful sunny day here, but it felt like a cloudy day.
It did. It felt overcast.
Yeah. So, but through all that, just trying to, again, appreciate and, take from the lessons. There's so many lessons that he has. There's videos now. You don't have to, just remember. You can just go back and watch and study. And unfortunately, posthumously, but wonderful person, wonderful player. Really tough circumstance.
For me, Rob, my grandmother passed away in 2010. My grandmother was the rock of our family, which to say that it was broken would be an understatement. We've been feuding for decades. We just don't talk to each other. But this woman who, anyone wants to draw a picture in their head, I refer to Medea. Like the Medea movies, and if you picture what she looks like, that's exactly how my grandma looked like. Mm-hmm. Little heavy set, liked to eat, didn't have a cane, upper 80 years old, 89 years old, and raising a teenager. Okay? When she cracked the whip, we were in lockstep. And now that she's passed away, nobody talks to each other anymore. All right, we're just now. I'm close to my siblings, my sisters, but that's where the buck stops. And when she passed away, I tried to find a way to cry because I'm gonna miss this woman, and I couldn't. And then a month later, I see a movie, Marley and Me, just this stupid
Mm-hmm.
chick flick. I'm insulting it, but I'm
No, I
not.
love
But I'm
Marley
not.
and Me.
I was
That's
gonna
a
say
great movie.
you know what I
Great
mean.
movie.
Stupid in an affectionate way. Jennifer Aniston, right?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And this dog died. I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, how the fuck am I crying for a fucking fictional? And I just cursed. I'm so sorry. How can I cry over a fictional dog that most likely didn't die in real life, right? And I can't, and I have no tears to shed from my grandmother. And the answer is, and I'm thank you for bearing with me, everyone bearing with me, because I'm getting somewhere with this. The answer is, it took time to set in. I wasn't crying over a dog. I was crying over a loss, someone that was a loss to not just me, but to many people. So when Kobe died, I was just shocked because I was like, wait, that's Superman. Superman can't die. You know, he's timeless. You know, you don't think of people, and you know, at that age, that had so much ahead of them. His second part of his life is probably going to be more galvanizing and blazing than the first part.
Right.
And then today happened, and I'm at the coffee shop, and you know, first takes finishing, and they're you know, it starts 10 o'clock Pacific. That was today.
Right.
For the people watching Sports Debate Tuesday, we're doing this the night before, so it gives you a gauge. And then I just started crying in the coffee shop, uncontrollably. You know, it was somebody's wife, somebody's husband,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's father, somebody's best friend. Everybody says that Kobe was like a brother to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that a month ago, I'm like, okay, he's a brother to you too, really? How many people is he?
How much family you got?
And how many people is he a baby brother, older brother to? And the answer is everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, man.
Fucking everybody, dude. He is everybody's big brother. He's my brother. He's my brother who I never knew, that I found out's dead, and I wish I could have gotten to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, I'm trying not to cry. You know, and you know, me and you, we're not that kind of
Mm-hmm.
kind of person. But it affected me today. There is an override of emotions. The man was loved by his city, universally respected outside of the United States. We covered this in our first episode. By the way, what a way to kick off our first episode, right? Kobe passes away.
Yeah, man.
And I love the guy. And I love the guy. And it shows that people, you don't have to see someone in person for them to touch your heart and have their actions inspire you and make you become a better person and a better human being.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I mean, to me, when I saw the tribute, I was like, please don't tell me this is going to be an oversaturation. Just a whole bunch of stars, you know, singing, you know, and some people are like, oh my God, please don't say it's going to be a forum for a whole bunch of people to hear the sounds of their own voice. And that's not what happened. It was a legit star-studded tribute, right? And it showed that you don't have to live into the false dichotomy that it's star-studded or it comes from a special place. It was both.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
crazy.
God rest that man. So God bless his family.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did we do?
Yeah. Well, 30 seconds over.
Oh, we did, yeah. Well,
But it's nice.
It's Kobe.
Yeah, man. You can't. 24 seconds over.
All right. Here's the next question, and this one just came in from someone. Okay.
Okay.
And for those of you messaging us right now, we're going to see if we can read some of these questions back, of course. Rob's got the mouse because I'm not near my computer. I'm behind an American flag. So listen, this is the 40th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice, when the U.S. hockey team performed one of the biggest upsets in all of sports. So, just for fun, Rob, I'll pose the question like this. Which one of these do you consider a bigger upset? 1, Miracle on Ice. 2, Buster Douglas KOing Mike Tyson in Japan. 3, the New York Giants upsetting the undefeated Patriots. 4, Joe Namath guaranteeing a Super Bowl win over the heavily favored Colts. And 5, Matt Serra upsetting George Rush St. Pierre. The floor is yours.
I mean, I could rank them, I think the only two that really are in contention in my mind are the Joe Namath and the Miracle on Ice. And I really don't think it's even, now that I even say Miracle on Ice, I don't even think it's close. I think it's absolutely the Miracle on Ice. I've never been touched more from a sports story. That's insane. Not only what they went through, how they did it, it was a different time, than it is now where everything is accessible, so it had to come from such a place, from so many people, the buy-in, the individual skill, the ethic, to really want to, and to be pushed from so many ways, but to create a family from that. It was just one of the last, true great stories in our country. Because that's the world against the world. That's the Olympics, is the highest stage. I mean, no, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. It is number one all time in American sports. For me, in my small history.
That's a very good top two to narrow
Yeah,
down.
I mean, geez, man, Namath. I feel like if they kind of gave it to him a little better than, what was it, like 14-9?
Yeah.
I think they gave it to him a little better than that.
It was 16-7.
16-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a smart, smart managed game.
Right.
Took his shots.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Unitas also had a really bad game.
Agreed.
Really bad game. So, again, I don't know if it's just defense, he believed in them, or it just, it happened that way. But I feel like that was a little bit more on a good moment, on a great moment, great timing.
Right.
I think Miracle, man, they played them right before the games and got whooped. Like, I really can't. I don't think there's any difference. I still don't think there's any better movie made about any sports.
I was inspired to do my homework by that movie.
Right?
Like Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better.
We take a bunch of coaching tips from that man, don't we?
All the time. I make people run all the way up and back, even on the ice.
Again. That's
Blow the
as
whistle.
worse as the sand. Again.
Oof. Oh.
She has too much. Again. All right. So, Rob McLean.
Yeah, how you think?
You and I can have a healthy debate on what's second and third and all that stuff, all right? Joe Namath guaranteeing victory was ballsy, but you had a bunch of Jets fans, and the players honestly believe that they can do it. So I'm gonna do that one first. Matt Serra defeating George St. Pierre was the greatest upset in mixed martial arts, but it wasn't that much of an upset where it transcended the sport, where it made news for people that don't watch mixed martial arts. So as much as that's the biggest upset in MMA, I got to eliminate that one. All right. The New York Giants upsetting the New England Patriots was one of the biggest upsets in football. But anyone that's watched the last game of the season, when the Patriots beat the Giants 38-35, it gave a handful of Giants fans hope. And Michael Strahan knew, and Peyton Manning knew, and a psychic knew, and whatever 3-year-old that was manipulating the mouse that clicked on Vegas to win for the Giants to win, I got their parents rich. So I'm knocking that one out. Buster Douglas KOing Mike Tyson. 42-1 underdog. That's a big dog. Me and you going to the bank and pick up Buster Douglas on that. The lurking variables, however, that led to that victory. The long count when Buster got knocked down and the fast count when Mike Tyson got knocked down these are things that had to come in play for the upset to happen. And the difference between the one that we agree is number one, because I'm gonna get to that, and the others is there were so many things that had to come into play for them to win. This, Rob, the Miracle on Ice, and we're both going to concede hockey's not our first sport. Hockey's not even my fifth sport. All right, though I do respect it. My girl's a Penguins fan, which pretty much makes me a Penguins fan. You take this team that exhibitioned the NHL before the Olympics came and beat the NHL 6-0, the USS, the Soviets, 6-0. And the way the US played them from bell to bell, like if you were a Martian that landed on his planet, you wouldn't have called it an upset because you would have thought the better team won. And that's what made it an upset to me. Yeah. They played them and they hit them in the mouth, and they played with power and speed and just intelligent moves. And at the end of the day, we were witnessing something that can never happen again. I want people to appreciate the Soviet Union back in the day. The Soviet Union was a compilation of all the best. Basically, you get all-stars from this litter of countries that the Soviet Union, right? Lithuania, or whatever.
Ukraine, Lithuania, Latvia, like, oh my gosh.
It was basically like the USA, the '88 Olympics, USA against USSR.
Well, it was basically like, you know, when they do like USA versus the world, like that's who, like, they were the world.
That was the world.
You know, like for hockey, that was the world.
So Rob, we can definitely touch on a debate in the near distant future about Joe Namath's guarantee, because as New Yorkers we find that fun, but we ain't even trying to commit any blasphemy out of that. We started this question for fun, and I do not want to end for blasphemy. I have respect, adoration for the miracle on ice, and that is the U.S. national hockey team.
Absolutely, and it's one of the greatest sports stories that I've ever heard in U.S. history.
Nice. All right, so. We're moving right along. So let's explore. We can do some word answers to this, or we could do one sentence elaborations on this short episode of the fifth. Because I think because we're going to wrap up so fast, because Miranda's not here, we'll use the rest of it to take one or two of the questions or post at the end after true and false. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
True or false? Steph Curry, the NBA. Steph Curry should have sat out the entire season.
True.
False. For me, it's false. I think this, even though they're not winning very many games, if you watch them play, they're playing the Steve Kerr way. They're going from bell to bell. Unlike the New York Knicks, that you could clearly see they're tanking. These guys are not tanking. They're just not good enough, and they're playing to the maximum of their potential. So right now, it's an audition process for those of them that want to play with Draymond Green and Steph Curry and Thompson the next year. And it would be nice to have Curry in at the end of the year to be like, okay, I play well with this guy, or this guy got to go. So I'm going to go with false. Question number 2. Finally, we disagree. What the hell?
It's about time. 2.5 episodes.
Hey, one of our favorite wheelhouses, true or false, the UFC, Dan Hooker's decision was correct.
I mean, yeah, it was correct. Look at Paul Felder's eye. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
I'm going to go with false again. Like George St. Pierre, you can slap me in the face and my face is red for a week. It does not mean you won that match. So, bad impression. I thought personally, just like we had the debate about Reyes, I thought the Irish Dragon won round 2, 3, and 4. However, just like Jones and Reyes, it wasn't that big. There are levels to how big or how much you think someone got screwed or whatever, right. But it was on the same level. There was no real fuss from the experts, and you're not going to catch that much of a fuss from me. Gentlemen's disagreement, huh?
Just real quick, I just think it's funny how he's a commentator, you know, and then you always think maybe he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. And Dan Hooker, what's his record? Like 6-18. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it's not his record, but he's got a pretty loss-heavy record. And
no, he's only lost twice.
Dan?
I'm thinking about somebody else. You got the wrong Hooker. The other Hooker's 185, and he's lost a lot.
Yeah,
he's an Aussie. Who it is.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say there's one Hooker that's dope. Yeah, I don't. He didn't get touched, man. I didn't really see him get touched like that. Like maybe he doesn't.
And he called out Justin Gaethje. Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
That's gonna be fun.
It is, because he showed me he could take a hit. You fight in the phone booth with the Irish Dragon, and Dragon looks lumped up. He's the one that got lumped up. That's a fun fight. I think we both know how that's gonna go, but or not. True. You know, I mean, Hooker trains with Adesanya. They're in the same camp, and all of those guys are doing really well. So
yeah, the Aussies. Yeah.
So I go false, but whatever. FIVB, true or false? Norway's Anders Mullen Christian Soren will win Olympic gold in 2020.
False. False, because I just think that they're gonna succumb to the pressure, and I think you've kind of been seeing it the last maybe season or two, where that like they get excited and maybe they just don't play their cleanest game, and they've got a bullseye on their back every single game they play, so they're gonna get everybody's best, and if they're off their game at all, they're gonna lose. And you got Germany out there, so.
And the Russians, both Russia's teams.
Yep, but you know,
Rob McLean, I got to go with true. I got to go with true for a long stretch. And I say this operating under the premise that it's a copycat league. And if anyone gets off their lazy ass, like we said a couple episodes and watch this video, and you have the athletes of the clientele to actually make the adjustments, somebody's going to figure these guys out. I just don't think it's going to happen 2020. I think any time that they're going to be off and anything they need to fix, it's going to be in pool play, because the way the Olympics works, it's not single or double elimination. They're going to work it out in pool. They're going to come out in pool. And for me, the question is not who's going to win gold. The question is who's going to be playing for the bronze. So got to go with true on that.
All right.
Yes, a debate.
We got another one.
We got a winner.
Trying to make it spicy today.
NCAA men's volleyball. And maybe I usually follow the second half, but I got a pretty good sample size. NCAA men's volleyball. Hawaii will win the title this year. True or false?
False. I'm just gonna go with false. I do like the field on that one. Yeah. I
got to go with false too. I think Hawaii, and Jason Hall is listening. I'll take it like a man, but so do you. They have had for the last 3 seasons or 4 brilliant seasons. Okay, they were in the best 3 teams in the NCAA last year were in the same division, the Big West. And PSF would look like one of the weaker ones,
Right.
EIVA, they were weak for the last couple of years, and that it is what it is. So with that being said, Hawaii still has a problem. Every time it's their turn, every time it's their time to reach up and grab that brass ring and take what belongs to them, Rob McLean, it slips through their fingers. It slips through their fingers. 2 years ago, when they played Ohio State in the semifinals, everyone's like, Ohio State. Ohio State's vulnerable. They're not the same team they were last year. Ohio State housed them in 3 sets, and
beat
they beat the volleyball out of them.
Yeah.
I looked in the middle of the second set, and I looked at the setter or the libero and one of the middles look at each other on the bench, and he just goes, like in the middle of the second set after they lost the first set, and the way he looked at him, he wasn't asking, "Do you want chicken for dinner?" His look was like, "It's not happening. We're not going to win this. We're not going to win this." Okay, Long Beach State last year, they had their shot. Long Beach State was better coached with respect to both coaches. On a normal day, the Hawaii head coach is usually the better. He's usually, you want to go to war with him before you go with Alan Knight. But it's 2 of the best 5 coaches in men's volleyball, and Hawaii should have won.
I think Alan Knight is the best college coach, right next to Spera. I think he's right there because he's more.
I give Knipe the rub over Spera.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for college. We're talking about college, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Knipe for me is the best college coach out there.
Yeah, well, you are what your record says you are, right? It's not like neither team or neither program has problem recruiting good players. So It is the best of the best. And of course, at some games you could play glorified babysitter and beat the hell out of the teams you're supposed to beat, but to be the champion. Championships, I always said, are not decided by blowouts. They're decided by 2-point victories. What are you doing that leads you to the end, that where you're a coach, you put your talent in the position to win a game? I always say, Rob, for indoor volleyball, I coach Evolution. I can't guarantee I'll win every game, but I can guarantee every game I can make every game 22 up. And at some point, it's not about coaching, it's about the will to win. And if you're in practice, if you have these kids in situations and you have the right kids whose mind is focused, like if it's 24 up, this is a normal day, and I want to be in this situation. I relish this situation. I believe they're still undefeated, but I still don't see them relishing those situations, not because I haven't seen them tested.
Right.
And when they're tested, history says they aren't. They have not passed. They didn't even get to 65. So,
right.
Sorry, that was a long true and false.
Yeah, it's all right though. It's worth it. One volleyball.
All right. True or false? Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov will fight at the end of the year.
End of the year. Yes, true. I think there is enough time where Conor can get another fight, possibly 2 quick ones in, and then end of the year, he and Khabib maybe send him off. Send Khabib off with a last big Conor fight. I could see that. I could see that
too. I think, pending the Tony Ferguson fight, because with Tony, as unpredictable as he is, and stylistically, Khabib closes the distance. As slick as Tony is with submissions, and he looks like the skinny guy, but he's a strong skinny guy.
He is.
He's got freaking ant strength.
Yeah.
So I don't like calling stuff like that when I'm actually picking Tony to beat Khabib narrowly in the spring before Ramadan. But here's the thing. If Khabib wins, he's not fighting, he's a Muslim. He's not fighting during Ramadan. True. But that's plenty of time for Conor to get another fight in.
Exactly.
Maybe just Justin Gaethje. If Conor starches Justin Gaethje, his brand and his popularity and his ability, his rising tide, his ability for his rising tide to lift all ships, will demand a rematch against Khabib. So he stays active, and when I say active, just the one more fight. Khabib fights one, he fights one, they both win. I see them meeting in the middle. What'd you say? Did you say true or false?
I said true.
Okay.
But the thing is, I think even if Khabib loses to Tony, that fight's still gonna happen.
Yeah.
That fight's still gonna happen.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You think Conor just
Yeah. If Tony's
because if
in the
styles
top,
make matchups,
mm-hmm.
I don't really want Conor to fight. I mean, I'm
no.
starting to like Conor now. I don't want Conor to fight Tony Ferguson now.
He can't fight either of them. But
Yeah.
the thing is I think he's gonna, fight Khabib, make it something, because that's a big money. That's a big money thing,
Yes,
even
it
if they're
is.
not champions. So that's all I gotta say.
Nice. Excellent. All right. True or false? NBA, Kawhi Leonard will win MVP this year.
False. Absolutely false. Absolutely false.
False?
Not even
I'm
close.
going false.
Not even close. Their team is in shambles. But
I mean, with him and his load management, he might not even be the best player in his team. But,
Well,
if he does, I wouldn't be surprised.
the fact of that is, he did bring Paul George in. Paul George has not been on the court even as much as Kawhi has been load managing. So that also has to be into account.
100%.
They did just get Reggie Jackson. So now they're going to have a somewhat ball dominant shooting guard, which, that can really work into the mix. Look how Lou Williams is doing. Like, nobody can shoot. Nobody shoots the ball on the team. It's not that they can or they can't shoot the ball. It's that they won't.
Right.
They don't want to take. They want to give Kawhi the ball. They want to make him work. It's like, look at what Toronto did last year. Not to make this too long, but look what Toronto did last year. You know what I mean? They brought him in and they integrated him into the system, and then he flourished. Instead of saying, oh, we had a great system, the Clippers, and now we're just going to stick him in. Everything's going to work. It's like, no, do what you guys did all year. Keep passing the ball around. Then when Kawhi gets the ball, Kawhi can do whatever he does. But keep moving the ball. Keep playing defense. Keep transition. It's like,
do you
all
see
that
them
goes down.
playing each other in the Western Conference Finals?
Who's that?
LA versus LA.
Yeah, I do. I like the West.
I mean, they're clutch enough, as talented
Right.
as the West is, as
Right.
wild as the West
But
is.
yeah, even with Houston, I mean, I think the Houston thing threw wrenches in everybody's chain. They're just such a wild card. I see them going out in the first round, second round, maybe, and then the Clippers. I just think they're gonna do the whole we're gonna try to win. They're gonna do 6 games, 7-game series all the way up to the final, the Western Conference Finals, and then meet up against LA, or hopefully that's the third round game. You don't want those 2 LA teams going the second round.
No,
That would
that's
really
just
suck.
someone's going to be not happy. Quick answer. True or false? The XFL will last more than 2 seasons.
False.
False.
Yeah. Yeah.
True or false? Joe Burrow will go number 1 in a draft from LSU.
Ah, man. Quick answers. True.
Yeah.
He's one of the best quarterbacks throwing open players. Not throwing to open players, but throwing players open. He makes people get open.
Yeah.
He sees where you're going, and he throws it 10 yards past you with some touch and leads you to your max speed. That's some of the craziest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's one of the most beautiful.
Just a man with a lot to prove is finally getting what's his.
Finally.
I say true with you, though I do leave room for teams that look like they were tanking it to get Tua. All right, Tua looks very promising too,
but
as well.
It's either gonna be a trade up or it's gonna be Joe at 1. It's gonna be Joe at 1.
Nice. Last true or false? Alex Kleinman, we're going to FIVB again. Alex Kleinman and April Ross will win Olympic gold in 2020.
False.
I gotta go with false.
They're gonna be in. They're definitely gonna be in the top 4. They're gonna be fighting for a medal, but I think that they're gonna, it's gonna be again who they match up with in the
Right.
semifinals.
Yeah. Listen, Rob, as someone like me who we both know bleeds red, white, and blue, how do you know?
Exactly. I want to say
I'm a
yes.
patriot. I'm a vet. I got an American flag behind me.
Right.
All right. I'm all about America, and I would love for April Ross and Kleiman to make a liar out of me. I see them getting to the semifinals, and I see them competing for the bronze. All right, I see them getting to the semifinals, and you got Rebecca and her partner continuing her stride.
love them.
And stylistically, the Canadians have always come down to whatever and this and
Canadians,
that.
the Czechs,
But,
there's just so many teams out there.
And it's weird because it's not a Ross thing. It's a Kleinman thing that for me I've seen historically from her indoor career all the way up to the present. Remember we just had this conversation about your turn to reach up and grab that brass ring. Will she take what belongs to her?
Very true.
Or will she let it slip through her fingers? And to me, until she does, she doesn't. So
Very true.
that's respect.
And I don't want to compare the two, but look at what Catherine Plummer has done, and look at what Alex Kleiman did. Same school.
Yep.
All that hype, and Plummer's just morphed around her team. I even think Kleiman was a better indoor player than Plummer was, but
Well, there was also Penn State.
yeah, but I mean,
He's a 4-time champ.
but still, I mean, I just think that they've also had like some tougher. Like last year, it was a little easier, but the year before that, when Stanford won,
Nebraska.
that was tough.
That was 5 sets.
That was tough.
Against a team that was stylistically equipped to beat them.
And they didn't even play well. Like
look,
Nebraska
Stanford had
played
big
bad.
girls, and Nebraska's like, we got big girls too, right? Hey, to quote Raekwon, there's an old saying: "You got guns, we got guns too. Come on, son Duke, win a battle for cash to see whose son's who." That is Nebraska. You got big girls, we got big girls too. Let's play and see who the better team was, and Stanford won. Good for them.
Yeah. So yeah, just comparison. I think that she's just got to take the bull by the horns.
Nice. So that was a segment of True and False, and Rob and I in just a moment are going to take fan questions, and let's do it. OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear. All right. What do you got, Rob? Can you see what I can't?
Yeah. So Jeremy was just saying that Fury beat that Fury won basically every round of both fights. So that there shouldn't have been a rematch in the first place. But I disagree with that. You have Fury is. I mean, if Fury is the guy who he is, if you want to talk about real punches, like I don't think either one of them really did damage to each other. It's like the Tito Ortiz fight. Yeah, Tito Ortiz did win the rounds with Wilder, but he didn't really hurt him. He didn't really do anything to affect what Wilder was doing. So in essence, that he was just Wilder was just.
Did you say Tito Ortiz?
Tito Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz is the MMA guy.
I know. What the heck? I know his name is T. Ortiz.
We got it.
Yeah, Ortiz, he beat him up. I mean, he won on punches, but he didn't really affect what Deontay Wilder was doing. Tyson Fury could have not thrown punches that whole fight, and just the way that he was going after Deontay Wilder changed his game plan. So, yeah, like, that rematch had to happen because you need to know. And if you don't think that was a draw, then I guess a knockdown doesn't really matter. Two knockdowns don't really matter. Like, come on, like, what does it even mean now?
Well, I agree with you because listen, the knockdowns mattered in the first match, right? That's the reason why it was a draw in the first place.
Right. Then this match shouldn't have been stopped early because if you got knocked out, he only hit the canvas twice, right?
Yep.
So.
All right. Hey, what's up next?
We have the Celtics. In our fans' opinion, aren't built for the 7-game series.
They are. They're just. I just don't see anyone beating the Lakers 4 out of 7 times. That includes Greek Freak right now.
Yeah.
Toronto, well-coached team without Kawhi. Who is going to beat that team 4 out of 7 times? I think at the end. Right now, if they played the Clippers today, I got to go with you. We had a debate about this a couple of weeks ago. If the Clippers do what I think they can, I think they're the team that could beat them 4 out of 7 times.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really do. Because, again, just going back to that question, the Celtics are built for a 7-game series, but are they built to beat teams who have superstar power.
Right.
That's really the issue. Is like, okay, well, when the game really steps up to it, how much star power do you have? And they have some,
Okay.
but they don't have a guy, or they don't have two guys that are like, you know, a 1-2 punch. They just don't. They have 4 punches that are all soft.
Agreed.
You know, so.
Agreed. What else we got? Anything else?
I think that's all for now.
All right, cool. We got Miranda here in spirit.
Yeah.
Miranda's messaging us. All right. Hey, Rob, good job today, brother.
Thank you, man.
We did it. Got to shake my hand. We'll reach across all these wires and do one of those. Hey, thank you for tuning in, everybody, for all of you at home, and for Miranda, who is here in spirit, and for my man, Rob, Keep It McLean. I am Jason DeBillius, and Rob's actually going to hit that end now button at the same time after I run my promo. I'm going to run the promo, but before I do that, for now, I love all of you, and I say so long. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.